Yes, yes. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining. As always, I'm just going to get a few things set up here, so don't mind me. Let's, why don't we go into options and just get rid of this mini-map, because we probably don't need it. Here we go. So, yep, massive shout out to Turbin again today. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, they and thems, we are on the archive yet again. Today we're going to be looking at some of the old 2B2T bases that I used to play on very long time ago. So, yeah, hopefully you can join, take a look as well, and yeah, let's go. Righty, so there's a few bases that I have lined up that I want to show you guys. So we've got about, what have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bases that we're going to be looking at today. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. It's very hot, so we'll we'll see how long I can last in this room. So if you don't know, 2B2T Minecraft server started in 2010. I joined towards the end of 2012, played pretty much every day until 2016, really. April 2016, just a couple of months before Russia joined. I'd had enough of what was going on, and yeah, I left. So today we're going to be visiting some of the bases that I was at. In fact, I think all of the bases, apart from 2, I visited. Yeah, so we'll visit practically all the bases that I spent time on 2B2T. We'll talk about, things that were happening and things, and so on. Just go from there, really. So, as always, let's just bring that right down. Thank you so much. This will keep me alive. So, if you don't recognize this, we are in the Vault. So, the Vault is basically a server that was created to kind of preserve some of the old 2B2T bases. And essentially what that allowed us then to do was to download bases, keep them all in one single place, but then also we had the chance to restore them if we wanted to. We could bring the base to, a workable sort of level, as close as possible as to how it looked back in the day. Because obviously it wasn't always possible to do that. So some bases, they did stay griefed, unfortunately. But yeah, let's take a look. Let's see what's going on. What you will notice, if I can get out of here, I'm going to put myself into spectator mode. What you'll notice here is this is actually the terrain from Incursion 3. So the vault is placed in SIB. So this is SIB. And you're going to have to forgive me because I think this was 2014, 2015, something like that. So I don't remember what it stands for. It's something Incursion base. That's what the IB stands for. So apologies for that. So this is the terrain of 2B2T spawn, how it was back then, untouched. So this is essentially how it would have been before the Russia days. This is what, hey Spartan, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for joining. You're going to recognize this one. What you will have to remember is this is way before Russia joined. So the Vault is an amazing resource that we had back then to see what bases were like, so many years ago before we even joined the server, because there's bases here from like 2010, 2011, the real early bases. And what Turbin has now done is he's taken the Vault and he's added it to his own archive server. So the archive carries on, I suppose, the legacy of the vault. I hope that's okay for me to say. And it just basically allows us to go through time and see what bases used to look like on 2B2T. It allows us to see, you know, bases that you would never be able to see because it would take days or weeks to travel to them. And now there's, I don't know how many bases there are on there now. I suppose Turbine will have to confirm, but I think there's something like 50 or 60 bases. I'm probably way off. There's probably a lot more. Not only that, but there's stuff like this, just the terrain. You can go back and you can see 2B2T spawn from years ago, absolutely years ago, maybe I think even 2012, 2013. But enough about that. Let me show you what we did. And this, of course, was all built, including this. This was the test run. This was built by a program Dorkmida made. It was called McBuild. I suppose it was like it was a proxy that you would run on your own computer that would allow you to download 2B2T to your PC and then allow you to manipulate that terrain on your PC, but then your player would be doing it on the server. I hope I've got that right. Essentially what it was sort of like an original, I'm very dramatic, it was sort of an original, what's it called, baritone. It was an original baritone, like a manual baritone, but you could load Schematica into it, and yeah, it was great. Let's take a look around here. So this, of course, is the vault. So this is where it has been built, and we can see now all of the bases. Each one of these portals will bring you to a base. So these are bases from 2010, 2011, 2013, pretty much right the way up to what happened with Russia. The camping Russia, of course, not the country. Also, I want to give a huge shout out to everyone who is donating. Thank you to Luke as well, who donated this stream. Props. Thank you so much. I'm not sure what your in-game name is, but thank you so much for the $5. You are now on the list of top donors down at the bottom left there. Everyone is tied for first place. Everyone is tied for first place. Let's get on with this stream. So I want to take you to the very first one called... So for some reason I can see all these invisible things, and I'm not sure how to turn this off. So essentially it's allowing me to see all of the invisible players that it thinks it is. So you can kind of see the stands up there that give it a name, but we'll go through here. Of course, thank you to Bunko, my top donator. Thank you so much. So the very first base that I want to show you is the Gape. So this is Gape number 1. So I believe when you join, you're placed over here. So what it says is, welcome to the Wrath of Spawn, aka Sib. Again, it's not really helping me with it's not really helping me with what the name was, but there you go. So we've got Spoiler Alert's Castle, Plug-in Town, again a 2012 base. And let's take a look here, Gape number 1. So Dirty asks a very good question. He asks, why don't I have just enable super chats? I'm not monetized, so I can't enable super chats, which sucks. But I use Streamlabs, and that allows people to donate if they enjoy the stream. It helps with, you know, equipment costs. I've bought a new mic. My mouse died last week. I was, you know, making the last video way too hard, and I broke the mouse. So yeah. let's take a look at this. So this is the very first gate. So the idea of this really was, I suppose, to build just a giant hole in the ground. There was a few people that had already started doing this, and then Victor, Spawn Incursion Base, yes, Spawn Incursion Base is what SIB is, and then essentially Victor 96 came up with the idea. And I wonder if we can see chords. We can. So about minus 1000, so sorry, plus 1000 minus 1000 is where this is. You know what, let's just get coordinates up on here just so you can see what's going on. Let's put that somewhere a bit better, shall we? Let's pop that up there. So what this allows us to do, I'm still talking about the vault. I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's go back. So essentially, the idea was just to build a huge hole in the ground. This was kind of the location of a base already. And what Victor did is he came along and with others made a 128 by 128 square and said, let's just dig down. Let's just dig down to bedrock. We needed some time. We needed to pass some time. So here we go. Why don't we do it? And that's pretty much that, really. So if we come through here, what you'll find is kind of the outdoor courtyard. This is a very interesting stand that somebody known as Coconut 4 spent a lot of time at. Let me just tell you that. Of course, not too shabby for a 1k spawn base. We had all our storage. We had some other storage for Fat Squire. And then to the Gape. So this isn't finished, unfortunately. I think the download must have been taken before it finished. So we don't quite get to see it in its full glory, unfortunately. But this essentially is it. There were so many people here. There was Lemonfoot, there was Lucy, there was a player called 2B2T, which to this day I still don't know who that was. So many people. You know, obviously Victor 96, Coconut 4, Khaleesi, so many people. And this was all gone. This was all cleared out. We had done it, and then people came and lava casted it the next day, which of course is, hey, it's 2B2C, right? That's just how things go. We even had farms, and I believe it's not there anymore, but, oh, it is here. So you can kind of see Khaleesi put her name in the ice. It's not daytime, so you can kind of see it though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop my self back on game mode 2, because this of course isn't the vault. This is of course is the archive. So when you join the archive, you can see all the 2B2T bases. I mean, 2011 bases. You can see Squid Base, you can see NFE in all its glory, you can see the Valley of Wheat, XCC2 Spawn Base. And a lot of these came from Project Vault. So what we want to do is we want to go and have a look at some more of these places over here and just see which other bases we can look at. So of course, the mansion where Spartan 512 came from himself. If I could spell, that would help. Right, playtime day, let's take a look. So many bases. I honestly cannot believe just how many bases there were. Let's have a look and see what we've got around here. I want to find a really old base, and I have an idea of which one we can go and see. And I didn't know where it was until this moment. 700 base. Here we go. Let's take a look at 700 base, because man, this was a base that unfortunately I did not see it as you see it today. Unfortunately, I saw this base just after it had been wrecked. I came along it, and Pop Bob's castle over here was still intact. It had a bit of damage. It had a lava cast running over it, but it was intact. And what I did is I sort of tried to mine the castle out. And as I was mining the castle out, I noticed somewhere around here. So this is how I can tell this is quite an old download of this base, 700 base over at 2B2T. If you look down at the bottom right hand side, of course, you will see the coordinates. So 700 by 700. And this house here was actually made of obsidian. The walls had been replaced by obsidian, and in one of my old renders, actually, of 2B2T spawn, you can actually see this, and it was posted on Facepunch, and Polly the Parrot, who made this house, who also got swatted by, well, he didn't get swatted by the FBI. The FBI went to his house, sorry, the Secret Service. The Secret Service went to a 2B2T player's house because he said some very bad things about President Obama, but we'll leave that for another day. I think maybe if you're interested in that, maybe later on in the stream, I'll be able to explain a bit more if you're interested in that story. So this is 700 base, one of the very early bases. We're talking, 2011. And over here there was a lava cast. It was a square lava cast, and it was just used essentially inside, turned it into a farm. I believe this farm here, actually, there was still some melons on it. And I went in, I built the farm inside the lava cast, no chests or anything like that. And bit by bit, I slowly started to, what's the word I'm looking for? To restore the base. Refurbish, I think it's probably a better word. I started to refurbish the base. And of course, this is what it looked like when it was made. Now, if you head to these chords, 700 by minus 700, there's probably nothing there. As soon as Withers came about, that's pretty much the end of that, I'm afraid. There's absolutely no terrain left on most Anarchy servers at spawn, to be honest. That's just kind of how things go. Shout out to everyone that's watching. Thank you so much. I appreciate every single one of you watching. I appreciate every single one of you hitting the subscribe button. And of course, to those that donate, your name will forever be immortalized down at the bottom left of my screen. There was a base that I saw over here called Fenrir. So Fenrir was the name of a Greek god's dog, I believe. Sato86 made the base. While I'll tell you where we were. Where were we? We were at the Gape 2.0. So if you look on my channel, one of my very early videos, you'll see I actually have a video of the Gape. Now, fortunately, my PC is really struggling to load this. There we go. So this is Gape 2.0. Again, same sort of builders from Gape 1. So again, this is what I believe Coconut 4 made. This is Khaleesi's house, castle. If you're wondering what this here is, this is the Gape, just in case you had any questions. Gape 2.0. So this is kind of some of the members of the base. So of course we had potential members, we had the honorary members, and we had the members of the Gape. We then had a kill on sight list. I'm not sure why, as if we would have been able to stop Pop Bob, but that's another story. Lots of people visited this base. I mean, as you can see, we sort of arrived September, October 2014. Some people even sad enough to put the time they arrived. Lots of signs. Lots of signs. I'm not sure what they say. Of course. Of course. What have we got around here? So this leads us. So this you'll kind of explain. I'll kind of explain everything that's going on. Yeah, Echo. This is on the archive. You can join the archive and see this. So what you'll find from this is the Gape project brought so many people together. I mean, the 2014 or 2013, there was a temp map that brought a bunch of us together, and we came together and we made a group. And this group joined with other groups, and eventually we had the collective that made the Gape 1. We then moved on to Gape 2, much further out, almost 500,000 blocks away from spawn, which back then was far away. Silver Crown King, I believe, also made this villager farm down here. I think it was him, I'm not sure. And essentially this group, while we were here and had actually just finished the Gape, we received a call from Sato86, who said, I've based with you guys on the temp base. I know some of you guys are pretty cool. I want to start a base and I would like you to join me. And yeah, Stone Cold Killer, Gape 2 was at Bedrock, all the way to Bedrock, baby. So Fenrir was born from this. And what was made was a replica of the spawn beacon at one of the very, very first incursions. So it was made very hard to take this because there was so much lava, so much obsidian that people wouldn't be able to just come and take it. As it says, 3 confirmed attempts to steal it all failed. This is a slightly earlier download from when it was ruined. As you can see straight away, the wool Eiffel Tower was not created yet, unfortunately. We also down here had a Big Ben tower made by Coldwave, who was a very odd player. We're talking 2011, something like that, 2010, 2011. Fenrir was a great base. Oh, this is my humble abode over here. Okay. I'm not sure what some of these signs say. So this is Russell House 2.1. Apparently somebody did find my original Russell House on an island a little while back, and that was interesting. To see it kind of took me back. Again, Russell House 2.1, very basic stuff. Roof access, of course, to look out on the building of Fenrir and see what was going on. Here we had our communal farms over here. Shout out, by the way, to everyone coming from the 2B2T subreddit. Shout out to all you guys that are coming along, because I know there's some of you in here. Hey, why don't we get some chat going? Let me know where you've come from in chat. Are you from my oh, nice. So where are you from? Are you from the Constantium subreddit? Are you from 2B2T? Are you from my Discord? What's going on? Where are you guys from? Let's hear it. So this tower, unfortunately, did not get finished. It was made of wool, and it somehow didn't burn down until, I believe we griefed the base, when we knew people were coming to destroy it. Down here we had a huge gold farm. We had kind of a vertical farm, I guess, saving some space. Ian's area was down there. Sato made all this out. I like how I love how people have come in. Hey, people are coming in with the actual country where they're from. That's great. I love that. We're international here. This is a great thing about Minecraft. So this, of course, is from the original Valk and Asgard base. The James Called Politics channel. Oh, Bunko. I didn't realize anybody went in there. I thought it was toxic. I thought it was sealed off until 2030. Bring some eye bleach if you're heading there. That's all I'll say. So Fenrir was a great base. It allowed people to bring their different styles. We kind of had an Asian influence. You know where a lot of us were from, actually, thinking about it? We were from 3B3T back when it was the actual 3B3T, when Tristan and Pyrobite ran it. Of course, the Wolf Son of Loki. There we go. That's who Fenrir is. Yeah, so we met on a base called Nova from 3B3T. You'll be happy to know that this is you might be sad to know this, but it's no longer an ASMR stream because I actually have a Stream Deck in front of me. So, for instance, I can get rid of the donors like that, and now all of a sudden, all your donated dollars have disappeared from the bottom left of my screen, and now they're back. I can mute myself, so now when I drink and I slurp, I can I can turn the mic off as and when I need to without quitting the game, which is very nice. We're moving up in the world. We are in the 21st century on the JR Club. So this is Fenrir. This was such a good base, and I know we were looking at old streams. I know we were looking at old 2B2T bases, and this kind of is an old 2B2T base, to be fair, that I'm talking about. I wonder if I look at 2018, if it is in fact in there. I'm not sure if it would be in here. Would it be in here? Would it be in here? Let's have a look. Look how many bases there are, can I just say? How many bases are there here? I cannot believe it. And these, of course, are all post Russia joining. Look how many bases there are. Pyrobite's base. So many people. I can't believe this. Cytoville. Obviously, if you look at my my YouTube channel right at the beginning, I have a lot of videos of Fenrir. I have a lot of videos about oh, here we go. Oh, Bane poster, interesting. My House of Fun. So I'll just wait for this to load because I don't know what's happening with my PC. This, of course, is my original base. This is my one of the very first houses I made on the server. God damn it! I'm gonna have to apologize, guys. My game does not like my game does not like this. I don't know what's going on. I'm so sorry. I have like a top of the line PC, and my game has crashed. All I can do is apologize from the bottom of my heart for this. We are coming back on. Please bear with me, and we will be back at it in no time. Jeez, right, okay. Interesting. So there is something at this base that my PC just does not like. I don't know if it's these are the things you can't plan for, audience. These are the things that you just cannot plan for, unfortunately. The house is really something. It really is something. It really, really is. And I guess I'm just going to have to type in back as fast as I possibly can into this when I join. I really don't know what's happening. I'm so sorry. I have to apologise. We'll be back in 1 second, and I'll be showing you graphics down. Yeah, I mean, I can definitely do that. I can definitely do that, you know. Let's turn these shaders off. There must be something I'm doing wrong, right? How many shaders I have? I've got way too many shaders, guys. Okay, right. Let's just leave the shaders off, shall we, guys? Let's just leave the shaders off. So let's head back to the hub because I want to show you a few things. I do apologise for that. I'm not sure what's going on, so you know we can listen to a bit of jazz. Let's just pretend we're in a smoky bar, guys. It's all going to be okay. It's all going to be okay. So the next base of 2B2T that I would like to take you to is Aureus. So this is a base that Kane's Law and it's I've lost it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I can remember what his name is, unfortunately. Kane's Law and his friend made Aureus, the City of Gold. And today we are going to go back and we are going to explore it. Of course it's here. Let's take a look at Aureus. This, of course, famously known for FitMC's very first base. This is his home. My home on 2B2T. Is that a good FitMC impression? I don't know. Kane's Law and TACREV. Of course it's TACREV. Yeah, so they started a base. They had so many people here. They had Yellowstone Joe, Spartan 512, they had Fit, they had myself. They had Snacky North, who of course got blueballed into giving the coordinates away to somebody posing as e-girl online. So don't worry if Popbob doesn't find your base on 2B2T. Don't worry, somebody will give it up to somebody for some feet pics. So don't worry about that. That's absolutely fine. Let's head down here. I'm not bitter about it at all. By the way, it's fine. It's fine. This is my house over here. This tree over here was I believe made by Crazy Monkey. Yeah, Monkey's Giant Treehouse. Monkey, of course, is the founder of Avalon City, which I would like to see as well at some point. There were so many bases on 2B2T, and yeah, that was Cancer-chan. Good memory. So I actually logged off. I'll show you where I logged off on this base. When I quit 2B2T in 2016 of April, I logged off over here. And on one of my very early streams from, I don't know, 2017, 2018, something like that. I logged back in, and of course the base had been blown to hell, and I just fell. Fell down here. There was a chest under here with a bunch of my stuff, but I'm not sure if it's still there in this world download anyway. No, it's not. I hid a bunch of stuff under here before I quit. Clearly I don't know how to drive this thing. So this is the Colosseum. Listen to that music. This is the Colosseum that I built at Aureus. This is kind of a flag, I guess, for the City of Gold. I liked the idea of having something, I suppose, golden, like a shiny gold coin. A shiny doubloon, if you will. and this is the inside. Took a long time. This beacon was really annoying to get right, but we got there. I can't remember how many weeks this took. Well, probably months actually, but I had the design and I worked on the design in creative, and then I used what's his name, Dorquemada's McBuild program to automatically build it for myself once I had built it in creative on 2B2T using that proxy software I mentioned. Unfortunately for all the ASMR viewers, I did just mute myself before taking a drink. I do apologise. Thank you very much. The interior, you know, it was hard to get right, but we got there. And this, of course, is FitMC's museum that he used to have on 2B2T at Aureus City, the City of Gold. So apparently these are C-SPAN's books, and we I don't know what's happening. I right click, and oh, it's because I had the fly thing on. Let's just leave this on, and I sort of just fall through the floor. So that's great. So yeah, this was FitMC's museum. He had some maps here. He had. Oh, I guess that went in the reset. I suppose we have a RIP. I guess. Kiwi Slider again says, probably the same James who does the sneeze videos. Guys, I don't know what the hell is going on, but when you look, obviously I'm not doing well enough on YouTube. Oh, the Enchanted Glass, of course, on 2B2T. Whenever you look me up on YouTube, I guess I'm just not doing as, hey, Kane, welcome. I guess I'm not doing as well as I could be doing, because the first result I get when I search for him anyway is some guy who just sneezes. He puts videos up of himself sneezing, and he makes more views than I do per video. Let's just say that. So these are Spartan 512's ponies. I believe it was Pony Lane or Pony Avenue, something like that. So there was going to be a whole road of them essentially. And you'd be able to walk through them, I think, is what the plan was. Sort of as you come along here, there you go, half finished over here. I thought Tristan was here, but he wasn't. This, of course, is the famous map. So this map here, if you're not familiar with 2B2T and its history, there was actually an article made by Rock Paper Shotgun where I took one of their journalists on a little tour through Spawn at 2B2T. Pony Alley, of course. Thank you, Spartan. And it essentially, this was one of the maps that I gave him, and it's on that article, which I thought was pretty cool. So what I want to do is kind of just head over here. This, of course, was Hayor's temple over here, well, church that he was building, and this would have been amazing if he had finished it. It would have been absolutely amazing if he had finished it. I really wish he did, because it would have been fantastic just to see this thing in all its glory. Here's kind of where we had plots. So we had a plot, and you could build your own house. My house was over here, Casa Russell. Again, I love my land interior. Hail, 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 hail. Whispers. 8286, 8286, 8286. These are the houses on top, the heads, sorry, on top of the house, of course. Back in the day, we had all sorts of heads. We had everybody's head on the game through, the many back doors that 2B2T had over the years. Across here, of course, was the castle. This was great. I don't know why, but this reminds me of like an Unreal Tournament sort of map. I don't know why. It just gives me that vibe. If any of you ever played Unreal Tournament 2 back in the day, if any of you on the stream are old enough, I know some of you here are. I don't know why. It just reminds me of an Unreal Tournament area. your little random knowledge for the day. This, of course, was the best gold farm on 2B2T at the time. There was not a gold farm designed better than this on 2B2T. I can give you my word on that. And here was kind of the automatic carts that would go around and just collect everything, bring it down. As you can see, you know, a fair bit of storage. Let's continue down this road, and you will find the mob farms. I can't remember who made the mob farms and the iron farms. I think I made the mob farms. I can't remember. I do have a render like this that FitMC used at some point. Quake, yes, it did look like a Quake map, definitely. This is the iron farm, of course, on 2B2T, Aureus City, of course. And as we head along here, you will hear in your ears a bit more jazz. We have the tower of FitMC that towers above us in all its grandeur, looking over Yellowstone Joe's area. So yeah, that is Aureus City, Aureus, who knows. But of course, not all of these bases were my bases. For instance, Plugin Town. This was from 2012. This base was made through many of the backdoors that 2B2T had over the years, but this was one of the first. As you can see straight away what loaded. Look at this. A diamond. So I saw screenshots of this place on FacePunch, the FacePunch forums, which unfortunately have been lost to the internet. I do have some archives of some of the pages, but unfortunately not as many as I would like. I would definitely like some more, but unfortunately they're lost. FacePunch have taken them off the internet. This is why you should always save everything that you find, because one day it will be gone. And again, I'm not bitter about that at all. So if we make our way around here, so this is kind of the likes of like XO, XP, and people like this that would base here. I think Cold Wave may have been here as well. I mean, look at this. To think back in 2011 to have all of these blocks. I mean, it's just wild to think. XCC2, of course, was here as well. Look at this. While everyone was struggling to mine things by hand before the dupes and things like this, these are where these guys were sitting. Let's just head right up through here, shall we? Iboosh. And we're back up. So yeah, there's some really great places on this. I recommend, if you haven't heard of it, get yourself on the Vault. Oh, sorry, get yourself on the archive, and you'll see on the archive so many 2B2T bases. I highly recommend it. Again, look how many bases there are. Temp maps. Not only temp maps, but you have Overworld Spawn. You have the End. Like, look how many downloads of Spawn there are. It's crazy. But our next base. So just to go back to something I was speaking about, actually, Spartan says it was difficult to archive FacePunch website. It was crazy because you couldn't automatically do it, because you'd have to switch from page to page manually. You have to download each page manually. It's crazy. Bunko asks, how much is Turbin paying James for this sponsorship? Absolutely nothing, but what you will see down at the bottom left hand side is he is one of the donators. You know, full transparency. This is not a sponsored stream at all whatsoever. I want to do a series on my old 2B2T bases. And I mean, look at this history that's been saved. To think that I can just pick a base, any base listed not only here but also in the warps, and I can, get recordings of it and things like that. So I think it's highly valuable resource, and it's something that really should be treasured. That somebody like Turbin has done this, to be honest, because it's the biggest archive project for Minecraft in its existence that I know of. That's for sure. Right, let's take a look at some of the other bases that the Vault had to offer when it used to stand in all its glory. Let's take a look. Valk, of course, where Slater 86 came from. Passie's Castle. These may be one of the best collection of castles, I suppose, on 2B2T at the time. To think that they were also made of wood. They were made of wood and wool, ladies and gentlemen. Wood and wool. And they stood for many years. We of course have a yellow, a blue, a green and red. Blue, you will see, is the Ice Castle. So he kind of went for a James Russell's kind of interior design on these castles, as you can see. Shout out to that guy up there. I don't know who this is, but shout out to you, specifically to you. There you are. Shout out to you. Let's take a look through here. Again, what you will see is when lighting needed to be given. Interesting. What's this? When lighting needed to be given closer to the ice, he simply would use redstone blocks because they wouldn't melt the ice. I'm sure he learned that the hard way many times. Now imagine in Minecraft if it was a bit more realistic and torches could burn wood. This would not exist. There we go. I remember seeing these in person, and it was something else entirely, that's for sure. On 2B2T at the time, seeing a base like this. And of course, all of the bases were connected by a series of tunnels. All of the towers, sorry. That would lead you to an underwater, section. And this is really indicative of the time on 2B2T. There were so many of these sort of underwater builds. It was really in fashion. It was extremely fashionable to have builds underwater. I'm not sure why, but that was just what a lot of people enjoyed doing. Kind of as you come along here, there are some places weren't quite open yet. But as you come along, you'll see, the island at 39k, the island at minus 100k, minus 100k, minus 100k, 1 million, 1 million, 1 million, 1 million. We kind of started downloading just terrain as well, because it was interesting just to see. So La Rosa is a base that I want to show you very shortly, because La Rosa was my last base on 2B2T. That was the base that I built at and decided, you know what? I can't take another admin intervention scandal. This isn't anarchy. I'm done, basically. And that was that. So we'll go and take a look at that very shortly, but this is somewhere that I could not believe my eyes when I found it. Well, not when I found it, when I stumbled along it, with Spartan 512 and Kane's Law. So the story behind this was we were trying to get to Imp Base. So Tristan had made a huge mistake, and he had put some region files of 2B2T on his public FTP server, which was linked in the description of his GitHub profile. So by going on his GitHub profile, which he was writing plugins for 2B2T on, he would have a link to his FTP server. And on his FTP server, he had region files that belonged to the actual server machine of 2B2T. I, of course, downloaded all of these region files immediately and found a very weird region only in the Nether that was around -1 million by -1 million, but slightly further out. There was a huge tower in the Nether, and I was like, you know what? This feels like Imp Base. And myself and Spartan 512 and Kane's Law all agreed on the same thing, and we decided to dig in the Nether by hand, no dupes or anything like that, to to this random location in the Nether that apparently would have been the location of Imp Base if our gut feeling was correct. Now, we were digging towards where we believed Imp Base was, and in our vision, in our rendered distance, we saw a portal appear. And as we went through this portal, we came out expecting Imp Base, right? It's near the Imp Base chords. It's literally 100,000 blocks away from Imp Base on 2B2T, the oldest Aniki server in Minecraft. We came out and we saw this, and we were like, Imp Base. But of course it wasn't Imp Base, it was Hard Hat's castle. Have I got that wrong already? Was it Hard Hat's castle? I think it was Hard Hat's castle. So as we take a look through here, you will see Captain Hard Hat. And what do we have here? Pop Bob was here in 2013. What do we also have? Exalted Spartans was here in 2013. So what we see are the people that were at Imp Base came here and found this monument. Of course, ever the advertiser. I was here also. And Spartan 512 was also here and left his sign. Kane's Law actually beat us here by a day. Don't tell him, but he did most of the digging on the way to Imps. I kind of just watched, not gonna lie. And here we go. This is it. So we found this, and we were certain for sure. No way could we come here and this not be Imp Base. Imp Base must be nearby. So we carried on digging, we got to the portal that we found in the Nether through the region files on Tristan's FTP server that he had as a random link on his GitHub while we were checking out some of his plugins that he was writing for Housemaster, who he said he never wrote plugins for. And here we go. We found Imp Base. We walked for about 3 days straight, and we came across it. And that was really anticlimactic. Sorry, but yeah, that was that. I ran out of steam. I'm not gonna lie. I ran out of steam there. It's very warm. And I'm very old. So if we come along round here, because this of course is where Imp Base was saved. Viking Base, which is the old part of Imp Base and what it was called. So there was a portal here that generated when we came through the one in the Nether, because I suppose they got rid of the one in the overworld, right? That would make sense. We came through, and what did we see? Christ the Redeemer. The background image of the 2b2t.org website when it used to have one. If you haven't seen the website, you can go to archive.org. You can find it there. Before he started using my picture, one of my screenshots for the background. This was the screenshot for so long. And what it showed us was, in the background, was all of this. And these buildings over here. It showed us that this Christ the Redeemer statue was on 2B2T. So of course the first thing I did was make a Schematica download of this and start building it absolutely everywhere on 2B2T. But yeah, that's another story for another day. If you want to know more about ImpBase, again, I do have a video from 2020 where I kind of just go over the story of ImpBase a bit better than the way I'm talking about it now. But I mean, look at the designs here. And again, if you recognize the those 4 castles that we were talking about from Passy 05, he made this floral design, I believe. I think this was his doing. And further along, there are some of his bases too. Some of his buildings, sorry, along here. Here we go. This ice building was another one of his buildings. Those of you familiar with your symbolism would recognize the glowstone imagery here that we're seeing. I believe Passy was also from Germany, so we'll leave that there, shall we? Many bases like this, sections of the base like this, kind of finished, kind of unfinished at the same time. It was a base where you could have everything, and when you have everything, I think your passion kind of disappears sometimes. It certainly did on Constantium for me. When I had kind of done everything that I felt like I wanted to do, I just took a break because there wasn't really anything else left to do. I mean, if I built something like this, I sure as hell wasn't going to furnish it, that's for sure. I mean, look at the size of this thing. Turbin, again, absolutely correct. So the ice sculpture that I just showed you in this space was actually built by Offtopia. I think Passy did this. He did something. I can't remember what it was. Apologies for the information there. That wasn't quite correct. Have I just yet? So this, of course, is the Spawn Incursion base. This was downloaded and it was converted into the Vault by Spartan512, who hosted this on his own server as a testament to 2B2T, the builds that people could make on the world's most now famous Anarchy server. Back then it was the most infamous Anarchy server. Of course, Fitlantis was on there. What else do we have? What else do we have here? Let's take a look. I've not really taken a look up here, so Baghdad, interesting. There's so many bases. I mean, Night Vista, he's somebody who played in 2011. This was his 2013 base when he came back. Silver Crowning, Baloney Pony, Clyde, Hinderjay, Night Vista. So many old names. Just to think back of some people that used to play, Coldplay, Polly the Parrot. So Polly the Parrot on on 2B2T. What what happened to? Oh, I'm looking upwards. There, that helped. What happened to Polly the parrot? Well, let's talk about it. We had a forum for 2B2T on facepunch.com. We kept getting banned because they said this wasn't the place to have forums for 2B2T on, but we made them anyway. We kept getting banned for it, but we persevered, and in the end the mods gave up and they just let us put our threads, on their server, on their website. And Polly the parrot decided he was going to threaten the President of the United States on this forum. He explained what he wanted to do to Obama, and the Secret Service got in contact with the owner of Facepunch, who was more than happy to provide them with his IP and some of the details. And within a few weeks, Polly the parrot had a knock on the door, and the Secret Service was standing in his doorway. How's that for a story? This is kind of the place, that 2B2T was, and maybe is. Who knows? I'm not going to queue up to find out, unfortunately. But yeah, it was one hell of a story. Again, King's Landing, the most beautiful and troubled base of 2015. So true. Hey, Beast99. Yeah, they had people in this base that would blow each other's bases up as a pastime. They had people who would argue so much at this base together, and I don't know how it survived for so long, to be honest with you. But that's just what happened. Look at this. So this here, the Gorillas Island, is actually a recreation of a base that existed a long time ago on 2B2T. It was somebody's solo base, and that was kind of added in here as a gesture towards it, I suppose. Brandon, of course, with his head on someone. There were some very interesting characters on 2B2T in the early days. We'd all know each other very well, and yeah, there were some very interesting characters on the server at the time. Now, unfortunately, this entire base just, I think, was a schematic base it turned into. The dragon for sure was downloaded, and a bunch of other stuff as well. This, of course, was Allmonger's Sorter. So you know it would be on when the server would crash. No, I'm joking. It didn't cause any TPS drops. I believe only when it was full. It kind of hinted towards it, but it never actually did. There you go, the King of 2B2T. That was Brand's name. So why don't we just take a look at some of the warps that Turbin has on here, because there are some really old bases. Obviously Fenrir we've seen. Lazy Knicker's base. With an NICK ERS. God's sake. Project Unity was on there. Allmonger and Kingsplash, their Misa base. I remember when this got found, actually, and I have to admit I was one of the people that griefed it, unfortunately. this was kind of a base that was really out there. This was kind of a trippy base, sort of in a mesa, in a mesa, and just these vertical farms, these vertical towers. Very interesting. So what were some of the bases that were created just before Russia joined? These are some of the bases where you can sit at some of these bases. Here we go. Look at this, 2016. Okay, that was afterwards. Oh no, sorry. It was established in February. Very, very interesting. So let's look at this base for a second, because to think that somebody was sitting at this base. Oh, it's a lag machine. Somebody was sitting at this base, obviously by the looks of it now, lagging the server and planning to lag it a lot more based on these designs here. And in a couple of days, really, the end of 2B2T as we knew it would be upon us. It would be the end. We would have millions more people joining. Millions and millions of people more joining the server. Millions of people that would hear about the server. Hundreds of thousands that would join the server, and thousands of people that would join it thinking, this is 2B2T. This is the old 2B2T. This was one hell of a lag machine back in the day, this was. Well, of course, now by the time that these players joined 2B2T after hearing about it from Russia, it already was not the old 2B2T. It had already been, you know, taken over. It already had been ruined. There was nothing old 2B2T about it, unfortunately. It was lost to time. Welcome to Asgard 2. Again, you will recognize this from one of my old videos. Okay. Vouch invites are closed. Oh, I'm sorry guys, if you want an invite to Asgard 2, no can do. Vouchers are closed. Sorry. Interesting. Yep, so of course, FitMC, aka Silent Pedro, had joined the base at that point, and just behind Tristan's pony, up there, overlooking the base, was FitMC's little house. As Morbid Rain points out, the lag was seriously annoying. It was so annoying that that Housemaster was even asking for my help. We were looking at TPS reports, we were trying to figure out what the hell was going on. In the end, it turned out that Minecraft servers, when you're running them, they generate these files called like monument.dat, village.dat, and these files, they get very big, and especially on servers like 2B2T and now Constantium, when the server map is, you know, in the terabytes. Constantium now is about 3.5 terabytes. When you reach these kind of sizes, it takes time to load the files up. And the problem is that the game hangs for like a few minutes every time it tries to do this. So every 5 minutes you get about 30 seconds of lag, which was just insane to think about, really. And in 2014, House actually took the server down, and we had a temp map for a very long time. And this is how a lot of people actually came together. This is how a lot of people, you know, how a lot of how a lot of groups were actually formed, simply because we were no longer to play on two. We're no longer able to play on 2B2T. We were no longer able to spend, a couple of, spend our time a couple of million blocks out playing single player with chat. We were forced into a small box together, and we had to, we had to deal with that. So, we got to know people. We got to know new people that you would never base with normally. Villager Hotel here. And this really gave birth to a lot of new groups, a lot of new friendships. And it really gave way to, I think, the golden era of 2B2T. Of 2015, when you had all of these people all mixed up. And they would create, so many bases. I mean, this is a third incursion FOB, forward operating base. Wrath Outpost, of course, was there. Look how many bases there are. You could spend hours on here looking at it. Spartan 512, thank you so much for coming. This is going to be a short stream, I think. We're only going to be here for a few more minutes, 10-15 minutes maybe. Thank you so much for coming by, and yeah, good to see you too, man. Take care. Somebody asked who owns 2B2T now. It's a group of people that own 2B2T. There's no way one person would be able to run it by themselves, of course. So there are multiple people that run 2B2T, and they're doing really good with it. They're making a lot of money, obviously, because there's hundreds of people that have the prio queue at whatever it was, $20 a month, something like that. So this is 3B3T. I just want to show you this. So 3B3T was the server that Tristan and Pyrobyte used to run. It's not the 3B3T that you may have heard of. 3B3T stopped being a thing in like 2014, 2015, something like that. And again, Sato86 decided to start a base on it called, well, we didn't know what to call it. I wanted to call it something like West Philadelphia, and they like Nova. So I think we just called it West Novadelphia or something like that. Yeah, so as you can see, very, very interesting bunch of people that were here. This is the thing again. So Mona was there. Silver Crown King, Baloney Pony, of course, was there. Coconut 4, Pyrobyte. And again, if you look at the kind of the top right hand side, you'll notice the group of people that created Gape 1 and 2 on 2B2T. This is when we got together. This is when we I've just realised I'm not on this wall. Yeah, so we got together and built a ton of bases on 2B2T after this. These are Khaleesi's kind of Asian style houses over there. Casa James. Russell House. Now I wonder if the TNT is under here still. Probably not. But when we left 3B3T, I lined the entire base of my house with, I think, 5 layers of TNT, and then I put a little trip switch onto the pressure platform there. So whenever somebody came into my house next, they were going to get blown up. And yeah, just had to make sure no mobs were going to spawn down here. You know how it is. I have to sleep with the light on. And some farms as well. Yeah, this is 3B3T, so we're just looking at we're just looking at some of the temp maps and things like that. So, you know, Magical Girls Club. You know, there were so many places on here. So this is the lag machine that Zexil built. I wonder if... Oh, you can see them. Okay, they've been lava casted since then. I actually have a render of these before they got casted. These were huge lag farms. So you would do lava and then water, lava and then water, and then it would cause so much lag. So much lag. It was truly, truly crazy. Right, let's get out of here, boys and girls. Let's take a look and see what else we've got going on here. So we've got temp maps. We've got April Fool's maps. None of these I would have seen before because this is way... Ooh, hello. This is way before my... way after my time. Sorry, I was long gone. I was long gone by some of these. But let's take a look at this temp map because this is interesting. That looks like a base from Constantium that I just did a video on, base life cycle 2, one of the Kane's Law spawn base. I wonder if he's still around in this stream, but it's kind of interesting. That whole corner of it looks quite similar. Listen to the scary music that came on when we saw a skull. Blah. Okay, so it looks like this is a base that was in the 2014 temp map. Interesting. I don't think I saw this. No. No, I didn't. Yeah, so I didn't really see any of these, unfortunately. So we'll take a look at some of these and see what else we have. But yeah, thank you for coming along, everyone. Thank you for the stream. Thank you to everyone who donated as well. Shout out to Luke, who you've made your way onto the top donor board. Hopefully nobody donates $5.01, because if they do, Luke, you've lost your you've lost your place on the wall, I'm afraid. Let's take a look at one more base, shall we? Let's take a look at one more base. The base that I want to look at is 2013. Was that early 2013? I guess so. Space Valk 3. Yes, this is what I wanted to see. So this, of course, was built by Jack the Ripper. Shout out to Jack the Ripper. Follow him on... subscribe to him on YouTube, because he does a ton of streaming. I think he streams on 2B2T as well. So this is his base on 2B2T, one of his most famous and iconic bases. Why do you ask? Why is this base an iconic base? Well, that's right. This is an end base. Popstonia! Popstonia with the first place grab. Clutched, kicking. Who have you kicked off? You've kicked off Bunko off the top off the top post. Well done. Thank you so much for the donation. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. Maybe now I can get a PC that doesn't crash when I visit my own base. How about that? Thanks. Oh, hey, Judge Holden is in the chat. Welcome, Judge. Good to see you. Hopefully you recognise some of these old bases. It looks like this stream has brought out a lot of old names. We've got Spartan 512. We've got Kane's Law. We've got Judge Holden coming back. You know, amazing. I love this. So yeah, thank you so much, Popstonia, and you unfortunately have kicked Bunko off the top now. I thought it was going to move everyone down and Luke was going to have his day, but no, you've done it. Well done. You have kindly clicked on the link in my description to donate, and I thank you for that. Let's take a look at Jack's base here, because this is This is really amazing, and I kind of want to turn my brightness down a bit, because I feel like this deserves to be a little bit moody in here, because it's kind of that feeling, right? Look at this place. Now, I don't care if this was using duped items or not. This was built by hand. This is a space station that was built on 2B2T by essentially one guy. And I know Jack does a lot of streams. Who knows? Maybe we can figure something out together. But I've not spoken to him for a very long time. Look at this. This is very space, 2001 sort of styles coming back here. Omal. That's a story. That's a story of someone who who got hacked by Popbob. Popbob gave him a client, and Popbob then could just watch the screen of Omal. He sat back watching the guy's screen. Yatta, thank you so much for the $10 donation. We have a war going on our hands, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Thank you so much for the donation of $10. I cannot believe this. Now I can show you my old base without my PC crashing. Thank you so much, dude. Or Dudette, or do they? I'm not sure. I don't want to assume. I think there's been some griefing going on here. I'm not sure what's going on, but this should not look like this, should it? Look at this place. I mean, this is not a James Russell's build. You can tell that straight away, simply because when you go inside it, things exist. Look at this thing. You've got chess. Man. You know what would be cool if we could pick these up and actually have a game? We can have like the world's first live streamed chess game in Minecraft. Who knows? Who knows? But look at the size of this base. So I am going as fast as I possibly can. And look how fast I'm going when we're in here. And then when I come out, like, it takes so long. Like, the whole base isn't even rendering. I don't know what the render distance is on this server. Oh, well, it's not 20. So it's crazy. Look at this place. This was a place that I believe Spartan 512 accidentally came across. He was listening to... What was he listening to? Bunko! Bunko, what? Bunko, thank you so much for the donation. I cannot believe what's happening here. We have a donor war. So what we have is Luke, Cool Hand Luke came in with the $5 donation, and we just have a battle to be on top. Next donation, if it's above 5, Luke's out of here. I'm sorry, but you are off the screen, you are off the table, and you are out of the game. I am so sorry. So Spartan 512 was going around just exploring the end, never expecting that, 69,000 blocks and then minus 112,000 blocks into the end, he would come across this. And I believe he was listening to the Minecraft soundtrack. And it actually was the end that was playing, I think. It was either that or when he went to Imp Base that he had that playing. But imagine hearing that soundtrack playing. Imagine hearing that, the bass, the synths, as you're travelling through nothingness. This is all you see. This is all you see for about 2 or 3 hours Wow. I mean, you see that when you're in the queue on 2B2T, do you? I'm not sure. But you're just traveling along, seeing this, then all of a sudden, boom, this starts appearing in your view. I can't imagine what that must have been like. I mean, look at these indoor farms that he's got here. Circular indoor farms to fit inside of this structure, which fits this entire structure here. And not only that, but he could have just built straight up, but instead he built it in layers to give that sort of look. I mean, the attention to detail that goes into these bases on 2B2T is absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. And on that note, I would like to thank everyone who's been watching this stream. I would like to thank everyone who has supported the stream with your donations and these wars. I'm going to keep this on down at the bottom left, I believe. I'm going to keep this on so your names will always be memorialized when I stream. And yeah, thank you so much for spending your some of your Sunday with me. We've been here for about an hour and a half. Turbin again claims position 1 with his $11 donation. Thank you so much. I cannot believe you've done this. Thank you for the kind donation. Thank you for the kind messages. And this, of course, has been Turbin's server. And within Turbin's server of the archive, we have been playing on Spartan 512's Spartan 512's project of the Vault, showcasing the original bases of 2010, I believe, to 2014 or 15. Join the archive. Take a look at some of these warps. I mean, established 2022. You can see bases that, a few months ago stood. Crazy to think. Just crazy. I can't believe it. If we go back, we will also see Constantium. So you can also join the archive to look at some of the Constantium builds. Again, between 2016 and 2018. So many bases on here. It really is crazy. And if we go back, yeah, look at this. Crazy. So many bases. Come and take a look. Shout out to everyone who has been watching. Shout out to Yata. No way. I'm not sure why it's not showing up yet on the screen, but that will update very shortly. Thank you so much. I can't believe it. I can't believe you've done this. Thank you so much. Love heart straight back to you. Yeah, and this is the Vault, of course. So come on the archive, take a look. Take a look at some old 2B2T bases. I'm so happy that I could show you some of the old bases that I used to work at. Popstonia, again, thank you for your donation. You're now sitting there with a cool 10.99. Yatta again has updated now with 30. Thank you so much. I can't believe you've done this. You truly are just amazing supporters and subscribers. I can't believe it. Thank you so much. Yeah, come on, take a look at the archive. You can view some old 2B2T bases, and it has been an absolute pleasure to take you through some of the old bases on 2B2T that I spent a lot of time at. We looked at the Gapes, we looked at 700 base, Fenrir, Aureus, Passie's Towers, we looked at Plug-in Town, King's Landing, Space Valk. We looked at a few other bases too, and we explored the archive, and we had a lot of fun. So thank you so much. Take care. Have a great week. May your Monday be bountiful and all your dreams come true. I'll catch you on Sunday with my next video. It's speaking about when is Constantium gonna update. Constantium has been stuck on 1.12.2 since, God, I don't know, I think it's 2016. I think 2016 or 2017 was the last time Constantium updated. So it's been about 5 years. I think it's about time Constantium updated to at least 1.17. So we're going to find out when Constantium is going to update, how it can update, why it's so hard to update from 1.12 to anything else. And yeah, I'll see you on Sunday. And then a week after that, we'll be streaming. We've got some podcasts coming up. Yeah, I'm off to buy a new CPU so I can actually load my goddamn base. And yeah, we'll catch you on Sunday, guys. Take care. Love you all. Bye-bye.